If your book is not selling on Amazon KDP, then it might be because you're missing some of these elements in your books. So in this video, I'm going to show you what these are and how you can implement it so you can get more sales and make more money. If you are new to the channel, my name is Sean. I built 2 successful Amazon KDP businesses. I've helped over 1,700 students of mine in my paid coaching program to make money with Amazon KDP. So if you want no BS publishing advice from someone who's actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. So this is a subscriber book review series that I do where I analyze and critique your books that you submitted to me and show you exactly what to do to make more sales. If you want me to review your books in future videos like this, just follow me on Instagram at SeanDolwith13. Direct message me your Amazon link and I might feature it in future videos. All right, so let's start with the first one. So this book, Piracy in the Blood, The Adventure of James Drummond. So looking at the description, it seems like James Drummond is the Blackbeard pirate, right? So he was a famous pirate back in the day. Now, your book is not selling. 9 million BSR is basically not selling at all. And there are many elements that you're missing in this book to make it a success, right? Number one, you have no keyword in the title. Piracy in the Blood is not something that people use to search for a book on this topic. No one's gonna ever type in piracy in the blood in the Amazon search bar right here, meaning your book is not gonna pop up, right? The Adventure of James Drummond. So James Drummond might have been a keyword if he is famous enough, like Elon Musk. Sometimes people want to read Elon Musk book, right? And so they'll type in Elon Musk here. And so Elon Musk is a keyword. But James Drummond, I looked it up, and James Drummond is not a big enough name to be a keyword. There's no other books on the search results here that are actually even about James Drummond, right? So basically there's no demand. So essentially what this tells me is that you have no keyword in the title, which makes it really hard for your book to pop up when customers search for something related to this, right? Maybe Blackbeard was a better keyword. I can actually check this. So I typed in Blackbeard pirate to be a little bit more clear. So we have this one, who was Blackbeard? And look at that, we got 27,000 BSR. You know, this book is selling $3 a day, right? Because it's selling at a very low price. So it's not making much per royalties. This book is 209,000 BSR. So it's not doing anything crazy, but it's decent. Okay, it's selling here and there. There's another one right here, Black Flags, Blue Waters. It doesn't say Blackbeard, but I'm assuming it's about Blackbeard based on, you know, the title and stuff. And it's doing okay, right? 19 bucks a day. Same as this one, Blackbeard, America's Most Notorious Pirate. And this one is doing $5 a day. So, you know, based on this, what this tells me is that the demand for Blackbeard, a book on Blackbeard, there's a little bit of it, right? It's nothing crazy because none of these books are making significant amount of money, but there are some demand. So the best keyword you could have used in your title to make your book more discoverable was Blackbeard. But in this case, you didn't do it. And just having it in description, not strong enough, it's not gonna pop up. So that's missing element number 1, no keyword. Missing element number 2 is your reviews. You only have 2 reviews. That's not gonna cut it. So you have to get more reviews. At minimum, I always aim to get 15, 20 reviews in the beginning and then aim to get 50 after my launch. So like after the first 1 to 2 months of my book being live. And in the long run, I want at least 100 reviews per book, which is totally possible. If you're watching this and you're like, how do you even do that? That's way too hard. It's not. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not hard. Like a lot of my students are doing this. There are many ways to get reviews, but one of the easiest way to get reviews is using sites like Book Bounty. I mentioned this in a lot of videos because it's, once again, the easiest way. But if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description. The website kind of explains this. So you can read the website, learn about it, or you can look up Sean Dolwith reviews on YouTube. And I have some videos talking about this and explaining how it works. Next book is Dot Marker's Activity Book, Construction Trucks in Space. Learn the alphabets with alien friends. Bold and simple, coloring book for toddlers, boys. And so mistake number 1, subtitle way too long, it's cutting off. Mistake number 2 is the subtitle does not make sense. You literally just said Dot Marker's Activity Book, but in the subtitle it's coloring book for toddlers, right? Which is it, right? Is it a dot marker activity book or is it coloring book, right? It's much better to be the best book in one topic rather than trying to rank in everything that's not even relevant to your book. So I guess technically dot markers is kind of like coloring books. So, you know, maybe that's what you're trying to do. But in my opinion, you should just stick to 1 or 2 main keyword for your book and put that in the title. For the rest, focus on having a more attractive subtitle that sells the book rather than just stuffing keywords like this. And also try not to have the subtitle cut off like this because it's unprofessional. The next thing is, once again, one review. One review is not gonna cut it, so you have to get more reviews, which we just talked about, so do that. So specifically for this book, a missing element I would say would be an attractive book cover, right? So this book cover is okay, but in my opinion, it's a little messy. You know, it's not the best, right? Like these images does not fit the overall design. I do like this section here. I like the color. I like that it's colorful, right? But I would not make each letter these aliens because it kind of makes it look more messy. I think you can just remove the eyes and the hands and just have the text space as is because it probably looks cleaner. And I do like the color and the size of the title. But I don't like, once again, the aliens, and I don't like the trucks. Dot markers, activity books. I recommend you follow these styles. Basically showcase your interior, the dot marker elements to it. Since you're doing trucks, you probably want something like this, these kind of trucks, right? Or maybe these kind of trucks. So I would upgrade your book cover definitely because I think it can improve. If you need a recommendation for a book cover designer in this space, I do know this gig right here in Fiverr. For 25 bucks, he will create a activity book cover. So I think it's the most relevant to your book topic right here. So you can reach out, kind of talk to him, test it out, and see how it goes. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. So there are many things that's lowering the sales for this book, but I will say subtitle, not having enough reviews, and your book cover as the three biggest ones. So the second book is probably from the same person just because the image looks very similar. But we have My First Sight Words Puzzle Book, right? 101 bold and simple puzzles, high frequency word puzzles for pre-K, okay? So if you think about it, right? Do you think high frequency word puzzles is attractive for if a parent is trying to buy, you know, books for pre-kindergarten kids? Like for me, I don't really, know the niche much because I don't have kids, right? But high frequency word puzzles seems way too much for a pre-K kid that I'm trying to buy, right? So I think that's not really relevant. That's not the best because in the subtitle, once again, you want to sell the book. And I just don't think this is really selling it. This is kind of anti-selling the book. Now, this part right here, little word builders workshop with loud cloud and bubble dust. That makes no sense. It's not doing anything, right? It's just confusing the reader. Little word builders workshop, okay? I don't get what that is. Also, loud cloud and bubble dust. That just doesn't make any sense, okay? So try not to be fancy. Try not to use complicated words. The subtitle, once again, be super clear why people should buy this book, right? What would my kid learn and how would they benefit from it, right? Like learn 100 new words, the basic, English alphabet, or improve my grammar, or whatever benefit it is, right? For this niche, you got to identify that, you got to put it in here. Like you put that in the description here, foundational literacy boost. That's a little too complicated once again for a pre-K book, but that's something, right? Word by word learning, perfect for age 3 to 6. Clarity in every letter, right? I'm sure you just used AI for this, but some of these things you can implement in your subtitle. Besides that, your review, once again, 0 reviews, just uploading, forgetting about it, that's not gonna work. Our next book is Brucey the Brave, The Dog Who Stopped Fetching, a heartwarming tale about a boy's friendship with his dog. All right, so the title, I do like this. I do want to capitalize each letter, the first letter of each word, because it looks more professional, especially like the beginning of the subtitle, uncapitalized, kind of unprofessional. But besides that, the subtitle clearly explains what the book is about, right? It's a heartwarming tale about a boy's friendship with his dog. So that's good. Good job. You got 10 reviews, right? Good review ratio. And yet this book is not selling. I think the main reason is simply because the book cover is just not attractive. Like, first of all, you don't need your logo. Your logo is way too big. So number one thing you got to understand, unless you're J.K. Rowling, unless you are, let's say like a super big publisher like Simon & Schuster, even Simon & Schuster, they don't even do this, right? No one cares about your company. No one cares about you. The only thing people care about is, what is this book and how is it going to help me? How is it going to benefit me, right? If I buy it and read it, not the author, okay? Or I don't even care about the author or the company, okay? Once again, unless you're super famous and you're known. So taking up this much space on your book cover for your logo is just not good. Plus, the logo is not fitting with the design as well, okay? So I would definitely not do that. It looks like this book cover is created by Canva, to be honest, And the title is very hard to read because it's blending with the background. It's very small, a lot of text. It just doesn't pop. So if you made this book cover yourself, great job. But it's just that if you're trying to do this to make money, right? You want a professional book cover design, and this isn't just cutting it. Like, these are the type of children's book illustrations or, book cover designs that we want, right? This is kind of like this, and same as this one. This kind of, hits the theme a little bit, or maybe you can go with this style, I'm not sure. But that is what I recommend at the moment. This does scream amateur publishing at the moment. If you need a children's book cover designer recommendation, this is a good one. So she specializes in children's book cover. And for 25 bucks, you can get a front cover. I think you need to pay a little bit more for the back cover as well. But these are some samples, right? So, you still got to guide them in terms of what you want. But, this is really, really good. This is really good. And I definitely think it'll improve your conversion rate. I think that is the number one thing that you are lacking right now. Next book is Sketches from a Young Man's Life, a novel in 12 parts. No reviews, not selling. I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this, but the biggest reason why this book is not selling is because when someone's scrolling through Amazon and they randomly stumble across this book, right? Which is the beauty of Amazon, is that you can just literally upload and you will get eyeballs to your product. Okay, but it is your job to convert those eyeballs into sales. It's not Amazon's job. Amazon's job is literally to show your books to people, okay? And they will do that based on how well your book sells. So if your book sucks and it doesn't sell, then they're going to stop showing it to people, right? But, once again, you will get some eyeballs just being on Amazon. But if people see your book and they're like, I don't understand what this book is about. What is this, right? Then no one's gonna buy it. So Sketches from a Young Man's Life, that's not telling me why I should care. A novel in 12 parts is not even explaining to me what it is. A novel in 12 parts, okay, so all I got from this is a 12 chapter novel or something, right? And Sketch from a Young Man's Life, once again, who is this young man? Why should I care? What am I gonna get? What am I gonna learn from this, right? Am I gonna get stories about persistence, the stories about struggling but overcoming the struggle? What is it, right? You need to explain that. And so the next thing is like, it has no reviews, so I'm not even gonna care because of that, right? If you got 100 reviews when you have a confusing title, I'm still gonna try and read the description because I know that at least people who left a review, 100 reviews, I'm like, okay, so I don't know what this book's about, but people seem to like it. Let me try and read the description, right? But you have 0 reviews, I'm not even gonna go there, okay? The next thing is like, your book cover absolutely does not make sense. Like, what is this? You have a collage of pictures that's not even connected to each other, especially this one. Like, why does she have anime eyes compared to everything else's, more vintage style, right? It just doesn't make sense, okay? And you're probably doing this because it's like 12 pictures, 12 chapters. Yeah, so you're going for way too much of the artsy, intriguing, mysterious angle, which is not how you make money. Not just in books, but in any business. You don't want to be fancy, guys. You don't want to be mysterious. You don't want to be intriguing because, what you think is going to happen is you become intriguing, right? Pique curiosity, and people are like, ooh, this is interesting, let me check out more. That's what you think is going to happen, right? But 99.999% of the time, that's not what's going to happen. You have this very vague, intriguing title, and people are going to look at it, and then they're just going to scroll past. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be like, right? That's the reaction you're going to get. And you're not going to get this, ooh, that's interesting, let me check it out. I guarantee you that. I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I've been doing this for a very long time, and your sales reflect that. You're not making any sales, okay? So do not be fancy, be very clear, explain to people why they should care, why should they read your book. And if you need help implementing any of the strategies we talked about today, right? I do have a complete Amazon KDP coaching program. So it comes with A to Z course, one-on-one coaching, a bunch of hand-holding, this and that, right? So you can click on the first link in the description and go to this page. You can apply for a free 30-minute strategy call to see if this program is a good fit for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a good fit, and that's fine, right? At least you talk to us, see if it's a good fit. Keep in mind, this is a paid coaching program. The strategy call is free, but the coaching program, if you choose to move forward, is obviously going to be paid, okay? So you can scroll down, see all the testimonials. You can scroll down even more and see the modules and bonuses and what's included inside. So if you need help It's the first link in the description, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend for your publishing business. All the cover designers that I recommended in this video is in the description. Hope you enjoy these book review series. Hope it's helpful. If it is, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.